Ah, there you are. Good. Tonight the fire doesn't just warm, it listens. Because this isn't just a story, it's a rising. A deep breath held by the world for too long, finally exhaled. You've heard the tale of the four, the aspirants who answered the call, mended the breach, and carried balance down from the mount. But balance, once seated, does not rest. It grows, evolves, it demands stewardship. And the world was listening, so was the magic. It stirred, not like a beast, but like a memory long buried, not chaotic, but curious, like a child stepping into sunlight for the first time in ages. Kael, Lira, Ashen, and Nyra felt it before they understood it. The elements within them began to shift, subtle at first, like a new rhythm forming behind their hearts. Kael could now hear not just stone, but the memory within it. Conversations held in granite, secrets whispered by mountains, footsteps of the ancestors. Lira felt the water pull toward her, not just with movement, but with intent. Currents didn't just flow, they spoke in riddles, asked questions, told truths. Ashen's fire grew stranger, less flame, more presence. It flickered in places untouched by air, burned where no fuel existed. It sang in languages no one had taught him. Nyra's wind stopped carrying her. It became her. She no longer needed to move to arrive. The air understood. The sanctum called them again, but this time it did not wait for their feet. It appeared in their dreams. A sky with no stars, only symbols, constellations of glowing runes and spirals too vast for books. Voices not as words, but as vibrations. Instructions layered in intuition. And when they awoke, they were no longer just aspirants. They were becoming something else. Keepers, number. That implied gates. Guardians, closer but not quite. They were being woven into the fabric itself. The Arcane Order had not been created. It was being remembered. They weren't the first, just the first in an age. They were brought back to the heart of the sanctum, not through walking, but through alignment. They simply arrived one by one in the central chamber. It had changed. No longer stone and silence, but light and language. Floating glyphs danced around them, forming bridges and circles. The four took their places, unprompted. They knew. As they stood, a fifth shape appeared, shifting, incomplete, a silhouette of potential, the shape of magic itself. It spoke not in sound, but in sensation, a warmth behind the eyes, a hum in the bones, a thrum that matched their hearts. You have anchored the balance, it said, but magic is more than balance. It is choice. They understood. The world wasn't just healing, it was awakening. And magic, once bound by fear and forgotten stories, now stretched its limbs across the lands again, not to dominate, but to integrate. The figure extended its arms, and from it emerged four radiant threads, earth, water, fire, and air, each flowing to its respective bearer, but they did not stop at their hands. They passed through, intertwined. The elements were not meant to be separate anymore. They were meant to merge. Kael felt water seep into stone, making it fertile. Lira felt fire in the tide, giving motion heat. Ashen's flames danced with wind, making it alive. Nyra found roots in the air, giving her direction. The chamber shifted. The glyphs around them formed a ring, an arcane circle, living geometry. And then light, not blinding, not aggressive, but encompassing. They rose. Their feet no longer touched stone. Their thoughts no longer belonged solely to them. They shared breath, memory, history. They were not losing themselves. They were becoming whole. The figure in the center smiled. It had no face, but still, it smiled. "You are the Order now," it said. "Not rulers, not saviors, but stewards. Guard not the gates, but the questions. Keep not the power, but the path." The chamber grew still, and then the figure faded, but not into silence. It became wind, became water, stone, flame, and then it became them. From that moment, the four were never the same. Their skin bore the runes of the sanctum, not like tattoos, but like veins. When they walked, the land listened. When they spoke, magic moved. They weren't gods. They were guideposts. A new arcane order had ascended. But what does that mean? It means the age of forbidden scrolls and secret towers ended. Magic no longer lived behind walls. It moved with the people, in breath, in song, in the act of noticing. Children began dreaming in glyphs. Farmers sang spells to their soil. Elders whispered protection into bread. The world did not become enchanted. It remembered it always had been. And still, there was work. Magic flows, yes, but it can still be twisted, still be bent, still be feared. The Order did not police it. They illuminated it. And when darkness stirred, not void, but ignorance, they stepped forward, not to strike, but to teach. Sometimes the best spell is a question. Sometimes the strongest charm is silence. And sometimes the purest magic is a name remembered. They moved across the land not as heroes, but as echoes. Stories wrapped in skin. Teachers who never stopped learning. And when the day comes that the world forgets again, another will rise. The Order does not end. It only changes shape, just like magic, just like you. So if tonight your dream carries symbols you've never seen, or the stars above you form a pattern you feel, but can't explain, listen. The Order may be calling, and when you wake, ask. Ask with your hands in the dirt, or your mouth in the wind. Ask with your breath, your stillness, your music, because the sanctum is not behind stone anymore. It walks the world. And the fire, it remembers. So do I. Rest now, listener. You've heard the tale of the Arcane Order's rise. And next time, I'll tell you what stirs in the places even they dare not go. The edges of dream, the shadows beneath memory. But that is another fire. Until then, keep listening. The magic hasn't gone. It's only just begun.